My wife from constantly complaining.
This sounds rude, but in the early years of my marriage, there was a time when I felt that my wife was actually turning into a little bit of a nag because she was always complaining about something. I got to the point where I said to myself, I need to fix this. There's something wrong here. Either she's just a complainer or I'm doing something wrong. So I decided to write on a piece of paper every time she complained about something. The goal here was for me to show her at the end of this exercise the multitude of things that she was constantly complaining about. So when she said, "You left the dishes in the sink again," I'd write it down. "The garbage is full and you keep putting more in it," I'd write it down. "You left your clothes on the floor again," I'd write it down. After a couple of days, I started thinking, man, I'm gonna need a bigger piece of paper. But at the end of the week, I noticed something really embarrassing. My wife was not complaining about a multitude of things. There were only 5 or 6 things on that list that she repeatedly complained about. Things that were largely my fault. That's when I realized I was unconsciously leaving a mess wherever I went for her to pick up after me like a maid. I wasn't being considerate of how much she was doing around the house, as well as working a full-time job and being a mom. From that day on, I decided it was time to take responsibility and be an equal partner in our marriage. And guess what? 90% of all her complaints were gone within a couple of months. And the rest, you may ask? Well, I'm not perfect. I'm still working on the last 10%. And by the way, my wife is definitely not a nag.